Hello and welcome to the Education Podcast. I will explore critical topics in education. I am Abdul Salam Amo. With the holidays upon us, both teachers and parents are often on the lookout for new school opportunities. In this twofold episode, choosing the right school is the focus. We are joined by the education expert, Mrs. Dideolu Adekogbe. Mrs. Adekogbe will share her expertise on what factors to consider when selecting the best school for your child's needs and how teachers can find schools that align with their career aspirations. Whether you're a parent seeking the perfect educational environment for your child or a teacher aiming to advance your career, this episode is packed with valuable insights and practical advice. Hello, madam.
Okay.
Good to see you again. Thank you. In the previous parts, we discussed choosing the right school from the perspective of parents for the children. The video is linked below. Now let's continue.
Then empathy. Class grouping is also important. We counsel schools in your front desk office. Create a place, especially for children. If you run preschool alongside, create a part where you have toys and childlike tears. When you see that child, as soon as you greet the mother or whosoever, give attention to that child. Hey, how are you doing? Good to have you here. Wow, our school is just good for you. See that? Yes, take care of this. Use this, play with this. Talk to me. I'm going to ask you a question about this. Do you know what? You have just told the mom that you pay attention to children, not just learning alone. You understand? So those factors are very important.
I would like us to go to the teachers. What attributes should teachers look out for when looking for a school to boost their career?
One of the first thing is not even salary. It shouldn't just be salaries that teachers should be on the lookout for. They should look out for schools that can help to develop their professional career path, help them to develop a career path. Some schools are schools that do a lot of training, capacity building. They do training and they send their teachers for training. Recently, I was at an interview. I was in a board, and then the candidate said she needed to leave where she's working presently because she's always been giving, and then she trained the teachers and the rest, and she has not ever been sent for training. So she said she wants to leave. She does not just want to give alone, she also wants to be replenished. So teachers should look for places that can help them to grow career path. Two, they can also when they visit school, they go for interview, they should look out for the environment. Is it a toxic environment or a friendly environment? You may ask me, how do you know that? If you get into a place and you see that you are waiting for your turn, and a senior officer comes in and talks to any of the junior officers anyhow, without due respect and the rest like that, just dish out orders anyhow and the rest. When they get in, they should also believe in their instinct and then be able to scan the environment when they get in and look at interaction, the way people in the environment interact, even from the security man, the driver, the cleaner. How are they behaving? When you get to a place, you see some people behaving so like everybody so afraid to do something or do some stuff. You can or you feel someone that are also careless. Even when you see those of them that are careless and talk to people anyhow, also watch. It can help you to see or determine if the school is a friendly school or a toxic school. Toxic school is not good for anybody, no matter who you are. So they should be on the lookout for that when they go for interview. That, and then when they also talk and negotiate, the way questions are asked, and when it's their turn, when it's turn of the candidate to also ask questions, in the way responses are also given, can also let them know if that environment is friendly enough and good enough for them to grow their career. And they should ask questions. When they go for interview, let everyone going know that it is not only the interviewer, the school that should ask you questions. they should also give you opportunity to ask questions. That candidate should also ask questions. You are not under bound now, so you are coming in at that point. You can ask questions. If they employ you, fine. If they don't employ you, nothing bad has happened. Because if you cannot ask questions at that point, that means when you come in, you cannot ask questions. You may not be able to, so you need to be able to express yourself. But may I know what is this structure? What is the policy on this? Ask questions. Ask questions about policies. And then schools should also do good to also let them know. A school owner said, in our academy, we have an academy, we run an academy, a school business management academy for school owners and school leaders. And then she shared and said, from the point of interview, she get to tell the teachers, in this school, this is how we are. But our August salary is usually not paid until the second week in September. They made them know. They let it know, be known to whoever that is coming, that August salary is not paid until the second week in September. They pass that information to the candidate, so that it's not when you get to and you're not like, and they ask you, what do you feel about it? If you're comfortable with it, fine. If not, that is how they run their system. They tell you here, you don't come in with when you come in with your phone, as soon as you enter, you must be on vibration mode, and you cannot have access to your phone except during break period. These are policies. You cannot just randomly pick your phone and be using it when you're supposed to be in class or picking a call. Every time you spend in school is scheduled for a particular program. Time in school is scheduled. That's why you have timetable. There's a timetable, and there's when there are changes in periods. Every time in the school is meant for something. It's only during the break that you are free to do some things. And if an emergency call comes in, let the emergency call go to the school main line. Let teachers also know that they can give their family members the school line in case of emergency. You may not be able to reach them in emergency. They may be having classes. An emergency, if there are some bits of news that is not right to be passed to the person directly. So that information should get to the admin, and then they look for a way to pass it around to whosoever is it, so that you can't be telling somebody your mom is sick, or your mom is on admission, your mom is, your daddy is dead. It will cause a lot of rumbling. So let it be known that as much as they have their personal phones, as much as all the staff have personal phone, there is also a school line within the space of 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. You cannot reach me except 11:30 to 12. That's when you can have direct call. But apart from that, between 8 to 2, you can't reach me. If there's an emergency and information, please use the school line. Let staff also, know that they need to get the school line and pass that information to their relatives in case of any emergency.
What advice do you have for teachers to assess the school's work-life balance and staff well-being policies?
Use your instinct to test the environment. Use instinct to test. There are people, when they get to a place, they have peace. They are just agitated. You have your natural instinct that can tell you about some things. How you feel about an environment. When you get an environment of danger, there is an unusual agitation. You didn't plan it because there is danger in that environment. God forbid that people who fall victims of maybe kidnappers and the right. There are some danger signals that usually tell them that something is not right about that environment. So also for candidates, when you get in there, during interview, ask questions. What's your plan for health, for the well-being of your staff? Do you have HMO? Is there health facilities? What and what does that cover? Is there occasion for excuse from duty? How many days do I have in a term for excuse of duty? And then if there is sickness, what am I supposed to manage? Is there a way is there an HMO, or I have my hospital, I can take a sick leave? Then also another thing is how many periods, how many classes am I taking? You can ask. You are still at that stage that you are selling yourself, and you are selling yourself, especially if you are good. Listen, only good teachers can do what I'm saying. Only teachers who have worked on themselves and they are sure that they are valuable. Even some of these valuable, we won't even find them going for interview because their bosses won't want them to go. But I still see some of those people, I see them at interview. You know why they came? They want to come and test themselves, not because they want to leave their school. They want to come in and test if what they know is still relevant even at the interview level. Some of them, you find them coming from big schools or average schools that are doing well. They see applied for some vacancies. They want to test their own level of relevance. So that's so when you're a good teacher, you have taken time to build yourself. As a matter of, when you get to interview place, you will be like a king because you're asking questions. What's your plan? What's your edge plan? And then how many periods? A subject teacher for secondary school, or I'm a class teacher for primary school. I know as a class teacher I need to take all the subjects. Awesome, fine. How many subjects do we offer in the primary school? How many subjects do we offer? Do we do subject teaching? Basic questions we can ask, because you are coming from a school. It may not be operational there. Such thing may be operational, but you don't know it's going to be operational where you are now. So you can ask questions, help you with your mental health, and then ask if there are counselors, or if they have a pastoral care unit, someone you can talk to, if there are issues, if there is something. And then is there also room for retreat, maybe exercise for also teachers and the rest? Somebody I can talk to if I'm issue, and kind of exercise, kind of programs, can help the teachers develop, themselves, So this it's a, and then schools, candidates must also be friendly for them to be able to work in a friendly environment. You understand? It's not all. It's the people that make up an environment to friendly and non-friendly. It's people. It's people. It's not the physical structure. So it's the human beings that are there. So how you relate with one another, interact with one another. If you also want to be treated well, you also must be ready to treat other people right. You understand? So for well-being, you on the lookout for how many periods you have to take, how many subjects you have to take. Some of them, if it's a young school, a coming up school that have not yet grown, the number of population they have is still few. Teachers may be asked to take some number of periods or subjects. Ask. So there is no harm in asking. Sorry, I like to know what population, how many per period, but you can. But because you're also willing to come and add to the system. Yes. So that can help. And then schools or environment where you can freely ask questions. It helps mental health. When you are not hiding something, you can talk to someone about it. If there's a counselor, if there is the way you discuss at the interview table, we also let you know if such a place is a place where you can express yourself freely.
What are the common mistakes that parents and teachers do make in choosing a school, and how can all this be avoided?
The commonest mistake is using physical structure, physical appearance, the building, to make this say, oh, this school is fine, is this, and not going in to know the content. That's for parents. You don't know what is operational. You only just see the building. Oh, this is so fine, the painting is fine, but what do they do? How do they handle children in there? You don't know. So you must go into ask. As part of the things that parents should do at this time now, when they have gone around, they have done the search on the website, they can note. So do you know they can walk up to those schools as a new parent and say, as a new parent, can I be invited for your school end of session? They can seek to be invited for the end of session so that they see how they organize their program. Yes, you can seek to be invited, because end of session is also another marketing time. for school. It's a time to market the school, and it's a marketing strategy. So what they get to do, so they can seek to do that. So not just, don't look at the building alone, look at what they have, look at the personnel, the human resource, the human resource in there, the facilities they have. Building is one, the people that are working inside, the facilities they have inside, so, and then you can also ask if it is constantly in use. Some schools have facilities, they keep them for inspectors to see, they don't use them, so you can also find a way of getting to know that. You can walk in and know. And then for teachers should be careful. Teachers, we fall victim of just a difference of 1,000 or 2,000 naira difference in their present salary, and they move. Do you understand that?
Yes.
They move because they get there, because they have just like 1,000, 2,000, even 5,000. They feel it's better. They don't consider so many things. This place that is giving you 5,000 extra, how close is it to your house? Proximity. One, what is your workload? Two, you understand? Then what is your style of administration? Leadership style. And then what program do they have for staff, for growth? So they are also consider when they are moving, so that you don't move. Several years back, while I was still in the regular school, some of my colleagues came in from some other schools, and they started lamenting. They got a job and they were paying them. I'm talking about like 16, 17 years ago. And some were like, oh, they got a job, they were giving them 150,000. Wow, they were like, that was a good one. And they left a place, they were collecting like 80, 90,000. They got there. The new place was able to pay 150,000 first month, second month. The third month, they started giving them in piecemeal, 50, 20, 30. And by the time it was almost like 6 months, the school is already indebted to the teachers, because they could not meet up with the payment. And by the time the teachers saw that there is a trouble, there is fire on the mountain, they are already being hold, and they left the school, and they could not meet up with they couldn't collect, and they had to come back to another school where the money is not as much as that, but it's regular. I think one of the questions that should also be asked is the time salaries are paid and the frequency. What time of the month is it paid, and how regular is the payment? Some don't pay too fantastic, but they don't miss it. 30th or 31st of the month, your money is ready. It may not be as big as some places that it will not be ready until on the 5th or 7th, 10th of the next month. So these are things that you have to. So don't fall victim of just looking at the building or looking at high salary without finding more. You should research. Do research. The moment you start going for interview and the rest of those, be on the lookout to look for information. Just like parents, we also should look out for parents whose children are there, to ask them some basic questions. Teachers can also look for staffs or teachers that are already there to ask some basic questions. They may get questions answers that will help them to make up their mind, and then that can help them.
Earlier, you made a lot of references to schools having websites. So, how do teachers and parents navigate their search in cases where there are no websites?
In this dispensation, if a school does not have website, you don't have business going there. That means they are not open to the public. Maybe they are hiding something. I don't know. Every school, to the smallest, must have website, and then they must also be visible on the social media. Facebook, Instagram. They should also be visible. You should be able to search when you use the SEO, the search engine optimization. Search engine optimization. You should be able to bring out When you search, if I write your name out on Google, you bring out so many things that you have done. Right? Even if at times I do write my name out on Google, and it brings out so many things that are associated with me, things I have done. You understand? So the same thing should apply to school. So if you're constantly doing, you have this, yes. So a school that does not have such, shouldn't, because you won't even be able to view them from outside. You need to be able to view them from outside before you go in. So schools should strive. I know a lot of people who do websites may not be that really expensive. You understand? They can put something together. And then worst case, if they don't even have website, maybe because they feel they are too small, they don't have money, they should be on the social media. Let them be visible on the social media, Facebook or somewhere. Let it that you can go to Facebook and write the name of school on search, and then they will come up. At least let me be able to get information that will help me to make a decision. Such things, website helps to make informed decision. It's not all the schools that parents or teachers looking for school can go. Do you know? It's not all. They can't go to all, but they would have done their shortlisting. They are sorted out using the social media or the website, and look at they have items they're on the lookout for, and they can search. It is here. It is here. It is here, and then they can move. Maybe prune it down to like three to five. There are such good schools in that environment that you can afford affordability now, or that the fee is close, and then you can go.
Is there that you want to add as an advice for parents and teachers as they look out for the right school?
As much as possible, look for schools within your vicinity. Reduce school bus for stress and for safety and security. Reduce it. There is no way there won't be a school that can meet up, even if it's not doing 100%. They should be able to do like 70-75% at least. Worst case, you can get a lesson teacher if you are not so sure. But I feel whatever they can do with that, with the support of the parent at home, there is a support that parents must give to their children. Everything shouldn't be left to the school or lesson teacher. You may not necessarily need a lesson teacher. If you have kind of school, good school, have really good school, then you should be able to do your part too at home as parents. Parents must be listeners. They should listen to their children. Even when you feel that you have chosen the best school, don't leave the child alone. Listen to your child. They have complaints. They have things to say. Listen to them. It will help you. And when your child say a word to you, don't debunk it. Don't debunk it. Don't just wave it off. Take it up as a serious matter, and then research into it. Go to school and ask questions, and then so that can help to be able to elevate the fear of the child. Because the moment the child is not comfortable in the school, learning will never take place. And now, if learning is not taking place, money is wasted, and nobody wants to do any wasteful investment. One of my sisters in the space, she's a parent coach, Dideolu. She said, your child is not looking for information because information is available on Google, on the social media. What your child is looking for adults with wisdom. What your child is looking for is wisdom, because social media and technology does not have wisdom. What they have is information, knowledge, information, but they don't have the wisdom. Their wisdom is application of knowledge. So when you are looking for school, don't just be looking for where there is just knowledge. Look for where you can get your child can get wisdom. Look for places where there are responsible adults, that can help your child to grow, that can grow your child soft skill, level of empathy, compassion, and make them to be useful citizens, and make your children to grow and become citizens that are useful in the society. Not just the place where it is just academics and they can do whatever they like. No, that's not the kind of school. No matter, even if their results. Yeah. Also, parents, you also ask for approval. Are these schools approved? Are they being accredited? are they approved? Especially if you're looking at secondary school. If the school is not approved, it means that when your child gets to GS3, they will have to go and register that child in another school to go and write exam. If you get to SS3, you have to go and register. A school that started and not yet approved should work towards approval. If you start, so that's why schools, even schools, when you start your secondary school, you cannot admit into just 1, 2, and 3 at the same time now. It doesn't work. You end up taking those children to another school to go and write exam. And the moment you take them to another school to write, parents will say, if my child is writing GS3 in that place, that means that's where he's going to write SS3. Why not people go register that child in that school instead of having to carry my children to go and write exam? As investors, when you are starting a secondary school, start from year 1. You will have 2-3 years to work towards your approval. By the time you take your children all through and get to the 3rd year, you would have gotten your approval, and then they can write. When you get to GS2, then you can admit children in GS2. But when you are just year 1, GS1, don't admit any child to GS2. You're going to be under pressure. And you want to say, and the facility, money. Well, you opted to go and start a secondary school. When you opted to start the secondary, you must face what is involved. You must get the file and everything ready and work towards approval. Work towards approval. Approval is different from approval to write exam. Is different from name approval. It's different from the approval to start school. It's approval for your child to write, for exams to be written in that school. So these are major facts. So you have to ask, is he approved? Is the school approved? Schools that are approved, they always write it out. Approved. So if it's not yet approved, well, if you want to take the risk, you can. You can take the risk. There is no harm in risk. Life itself is a risk, but you must be ready to face whatever music that comes out from that.
So how can the public get in touch with Flourish Gate Global Consult?
Thank you. Well, we are on the social media. We're on Facebook. We also have groups on WhatsApp. We have also a website, and then it can be reached through this number 0039393998 or 08186792913. You can be reached directly on those lines, either through WhatsApp or direct call. On the social media, Flourish Gate there. We also have the School Executive Forum on social media, and they have the Dideolu Adekogbe also on social media, and then we can be reached through those contacts.
Thank you very much, man. And over the past hour, we'll be talking about choosing the right school with Mrs. Dideolu Adekogbe of Flourish Gate Global Consult. And it's been an exciting experience. And I believe it will be the same for parents and teachers as they look out for schools in the near future. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you for having me.
You can catch up with news and other information in relation to the education sector on eduselect.com. And until next time, I've remained the host at the Salam Amo. Bye for now.